Hello, everyone. Welcome to Energize Your Business. My name is Edgar Olivo. This is a weekly podcast where I get to bring all of my friends who are amazing leaders in the community doing amazing work in the world. And today I have a special guest. Her name is Linda Bishop. She is a leadership and relationship coach. She's also a national program director for the Institute of Entrepreneurship Development with NABO. And of course, she has a wonderful website called lindabishop.com. You can check out all of her information. And today we get to talk about her entrepreneurial journey, her leadership story, and all the resources that she does or she uses on a regular basis to be able to share to you as well how you can grow as a leader in your own personal world. So stay tuned. It's going to be an amazing conversation. Linda, how are you? Welcome to Energize Your Business.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here with you.
I'm excited that you accepted the invitation. You have been on my list from the very beginning since I started this English programming. I'm like, Linda's going to be on. Linda's going to be on. And here's the day. You're here.
Well, you can invite me to anything, and I'll go if you're going to be there.
Oh,
so, yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So, Linda, you and I have known each other for several years now, especially as I started building a career in the entrepreneurship space, building out programs in the community. Our universe crossed paths. And I remember our very first coffee date that we had. That was what, a 2-3 hour coffee date? And it was just like, well, I don't have any more appointments. Do you want to keep hanging out? And we just hit it off right out the gate. And I just have admired everything that you've done. And I'm so excited that you're here.
Thank you.
So Linda, tell me, let's talk about your leadership journey. I know that there's a lot of things that you cover and you talk about. You do a lot of speaking engagements as well. You've written books as well. And one of the things that when I asked you, I said, okay, we're going to talk about leadership, but I want to hear from Linda. What do you want to bring up to the table? And you kept bringing up execution and the importance of focus. So let's talk about that, because I think that's important. I think sometimes life happens, we get lost in the shuffle, and we have to somehow find that refocus again. We have to find that purpose, tap into who we are again.
Yes.
Let's tell us a story.
Tell
us the story, yeah.
The story of Linda. So the story goes back a long way now, because the Earth has gone around the sun many times. I've been on here, yes. And but going back, I think that if you're going to talk about execution and focus and how that fits into somebody's story, then I think that it's important to realize that execution and focus doesn't look the same in everybody's story.
That's true.
And yeah, so my story looks like a cow path, but it wasn't.
Perfectly placed cow path.
Right, it was a perfectly placed cow path. And it wasn't that I didn't know where I was going.
Yeah.
It was that I was stopping in several different directions along the way to learn something new as I went.
Yeah.
And so I can see, looking back on my story, the thread that goes through the entire saga that's gotten me to today, and will push me over into tomorrow.
Yeah.
But
what is that thread? What is that common thread that you discovered?
That common thread is a desire to be something good in the world, to connect to other people, to connect other people together.
Yeah.
And so I always knew I wanted to be a helper. And that's such a broad term, but I wanted to make a difference. I wanted to be a helper. It's the same kind of bleeding heart story of the, I want to change the world, and I want to make it the world a perfect, better place. And
which you have, and you're still doing.
Okay. I've had some levels of success in what I've done, so that's really good. I'm excited about that. I'm not nearly done, and I'm super excited about that too. But I had a long, kind of windy road to get where I am. And a question that I get often is, well, how do I do what you do? How do I get a job like you have? Or how do I build a practice like you have? And I'm like, wow, you better get started.
Now.
Because you should have started already.
Yesterday.
Because this took a long time to do.
Right.
And and looking back, I could see how I might have shortened that path, but that wasn't my path. So my path was longer. That's okay. So I worked in corporate America for the first 30 years of, until I was in my early 30s.
Yeah.
And I had a realization one day. And it was a long time coming realization, but I was in my early 30s, and I was a single mom with 2 beautiful kids and a low-paying job without my education completed.
Tough spot.
Yeah. And so every month it was, am I going to make it? Am I going to make it? How do I I had bought a very small little house that I was raising my kids in, and the three of us loved each other madly, and we just life was good, except when I looked forward at my future, I didn't see anything to get excited about beyond, watching my kids grow. And I thought, wait a second, what happened to those dreams?
Yes.
I want to do something good in the world. I want to make a difference.
Right.
And I knew that I wasn't afraid to work hard. And I knew that I was smart enough to figure things out. And I had this realization one morning of, until you do something different, nothing is going to change. And you have to be willing to put in the work and dig in and dig deep for a long time, way longer than it's fun, which is a big deal for me because I really like fun a lot. And
I know, we want to speed that up as fast as we can.
Hurry up, let's get to the hard
stuff.
Let's get back to happy hour. This is really fun. No, you did, and I thought, you've got a hard path in front of you, but it's a temporary path. Are you willing to do it? And I made a decision that I was. And so while I was working full time, raising my kids, taking care of my little house with my pool and my yard and my dogs and my cats and all the things that go with that, doing the cooking and the cleaning and the shopping and making sure the kids' homework was done and that they got off to school on time and everything was completed. I went back to school full time on top of it. And and it was hard.
Oh, I bet.
It was hard.
Wow.
And then I got this wild hair too that also decided that on top of all of this, I also needed another outlet. I don't know why. I did. And it had to be health centered and it had to be connection centered because that's really what I wanted was I wanted to belong to a community of people doing good things.
Got it. Yeah.
And so
that's a good call to the world.
Yes.
That's a good one to put out there.
It is.
I want to be around good people in the world.
Yeah, who are doing good things.
Who are doing good things.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
I love that.
And who are taking care of themselves.
Yes.
Because that was the other thing that I knew was really important is that I was taking on this huge endeavor.
Right.
And that I'm living in a human body that has limitations, and I could run it right into the ground.
Yes, it's our vessel. We have to take care of it.
Right, and I'm so much bigger than this vessel that I'm in that I could get really excited and full of energy, and I could just run this thing right into the ground, and then I lose my vessel, and then I haven't done the things I wanted to do. Right. And I don't like pain, so I don't want to hurt it and then have to live in it.
Yeah, right.
And so
that's true.
I wanted to be healthy and happy and good, and then we could go have a good time, and that's good. So I decided one morning, actually, I think it was about midnight. I was writing another paper, had gone to work all day, had gotten the kids into bed, and now I was doing my homework, and I was writing a paper at midnight, and I was sitting at my computer in the dark crying because I was tired. And I thought, I just need to finish this paper. I just need to finish this paper. And I saw, and on my desk was a magazine, because there's something useful to do at midnight when you're really tired and too much to do. Why don't you look at a magazine?
Today, what do we have now? Social media.
It was my equivalent of Facebook or social media back then. How can I distract myself from the things I'm supposed to be doing? And so I picked up this magazine, and I thought to myself, what I would really like is to find a community of people that are taking care of themselves and doing good in the world, and I want to put more of that into my life.
Yeah. That's wonderful.
Because I was tired, and I could feel everything draining, and I thought I need something that puts something back. Yeah. And I opened up this magazine, and I see this. We can train you how to run a marathon, and I thought, sure. No, that's funny. And then I thought, well, wait a second, what? And I read it, and I went on their website, and I found where their next meeting was going to be, and I went the next week, and decided to run a marathon. On top of everything else that I was doing, let's train and run a marathon.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, you have to raise like $3,000 in a donation in order to run the marathon. But I can do that too, because I can do everything, apparently. And so I did. Yeah. And I ended up raising $4,500, ran the marathon in Alaska, traveled by myself, went and did that, and started to realize what I kind of always suspected, and that was that I really can do whatever I decide I'm going to do.
Right.
Oh, you really can.
Yeah.
If you decide you're going to do it,
Yep.
if you get focused on it,
Right.
if you're consistent with it, because I'll tell you, that day that I went to the very first run to train to run the marathon, I couldn't even run a mile.
Wow.
I ran half a mile and I was dying.
Wow.
And all these people ran past me.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh my God, how embarrassing. I can't even run a mile. And these people, they're training to run a marathon.
Yeah.
And I can't even run a mile.
Wow.
And I was the last person in.
Wow.
And they're all kind of standing there nicely.
Yeah.
Because these were good
Waiting for
people
you.
doing good things in the world. So they were not mean to me, thank goodness. And they didn't make me feel bad about it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I came huffing and puffing in that 1 mile. And they all said, congratulations, you got your first mile in.
Wow.
And I
That's
was like,
wonderful. That's so encouraging.
You're crazy. But I came back.
Yeah.
And with enough focus and with enough consistency and with taking that responsibility for myself of what am I actually going to do.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
I could quit anytime I wanted.
Right.
I didn't have to do any of it.
Right.
None of us have to do the
No.
things we think we have to do.
Right. Right.
We do what we decide we're going to do.
Exactly. Exactly.
And so I did that.
Yeah.
And that was one of the very first things that I did that I thought, I had no idea I could actually do that. But you can train yourself to be consistent,
Yeah.
to be focused,
Yeah.
to have a goal, to
Yeah.
complete the goal,
Yeah.
to celebrate it,
Yeah.
and then go do bigger things.
And do it
Put
again.
that in.
Yeah.
Add that to your bucket
Yeah.
of strengths.
Yeah.
Of, look, here's something that I did.
Right.
Now, will I ever run another marathon?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, did it.
Yeah.
Check.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I learned a lot.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting because as I'm listening to your story, I'm listening to how you set up your foundation. And it was created in a furnace of circumstances that,
Yes.
you know, that kind of just like gave you that moment of realization. I need to do something. I need to figure what is next. And when
Yes.
you called it, it appeared.
That's how it works.
Right? It appeared because
Yes.
so whatever your circumstance is, you know, put it together because it's going to serve you in one form, shape, or another.
Yeah.
And here you are now, you know, a celebrated and very well-known professional in the executive world, helping women-owned businesses
Yeah.
grow to become multi-million-dollar enterprises, right? And at the same
Yes.
time, you're not done.
No.
You're not done.
No.
And so that's what as I listen to your story, that's like a foundational story, and which is
It
really
was.
amazing. And you do have to kind of reflect on that. What's the value and the importance of reflecting on that foundational story to be able to pull you forward?
I tell you, you have to understand what you're capable of. You have to go back and look at the struggles
Yeah,
and you overcoming them
Yeah.
because you did.
yeah,
No matter what has happened to you in the past, you're still
Yeah.
here
Yeah.
and you're still doing things
Yeah.
and you're still making decisions every day
yes,
of who you're going to be, how you're going to be, and what you're going to be in this world.
right,
And
right.
you get to decide that every
Yeah.
single day, no matter
Yeah.
what happened yesterday.
Mhm.
And you know, whatever happened yesterday, you survived it.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know something too that you're kind of making me remember is the stories that we tell ourselves, right? And so how do you go about that? How do you reshape your story so that it starts to play into the thing that really is more in alignment? And I'll share something really quickly before you get into
Good.
your scenario, because you gave me something, a gift. You gave me a wonderful gift, and I use this to this day. I have shared it in front of hundreds of people in rooms, and this came from Linda Bishop. Publicly, I'm giving credit, and I've always given credit, but this is the first time I get to give you credit,
I'm excited.
and it's recorded. When I think it was in our first conversation, or one of our, no, I came over to your house, and
Yes.
you said, you know, I was kind of feeling like a kind of drifting, like I don't know where I'm going. I know what I'm doing, but I don't know where I'm going. And that kind of also gives a little bit of a doubt into your decisions, and it can lose focus. And you said something that just really stuck with me, and I thought, I'm going to use that forever. You said, Edgar, we're all corks floating on the water.
Oh, I
do you remember that?
I do.
You said we're all corks floating on the water. When you don't feel like you're in alignment, it's, you know, what, and you asked me, what do corks do? I said, well, they float on water. When you don't feel in alignment, when you don't feel happy, when you don't feel like you're doing the right thing, whatever, it's like you holding the cork down. At some point, you have to let it go, because what it wants to do is float.
Yeah.
And so that process of letting go is that process of letting go of the things that you've made up in your story,
Yes.
that you just made them up.
Yes.
You made them up. And then you said something else that kind of completes this phrase, and you said, you know, but you also have to be aware that you're also on a river that never ends, right? And that river has waterfalls, and there are moments that that cork is going to fall down that waterfall. But what do corks do? They float.
That is what I said.
You said that.
I remember that whole conversation.
What do corks do? They float. No
That's
matter
right.
what they do, they will
That's
come
right.
right back up. And I have lived with that. I have shared that in all of my coaching sessions. When someone feels like they're just kind of like drifting or feeling lost,
Yeah.
let's use the cork example because it is so perfect. So
That makes me very happy.
you said that to me. That was a gift that got me through, that's getting me through a lot of things, because we are, you know, when we are in alignment, right? When you're in alignment, or when you realign, you know, on the things that
Right.
matter, it does feel effortless. And
And
it should feel effortless.
when you
I think.
understand your value and who and what you are,
Mm-hmm.
then when you know you're a cork,
Yeah, yeah,
the rapids aren't as scary.
right,
And that waterfall,
yeah,
you know it's temporary.
yeah, yeah.
And you know that, first of all, it's gotta kind of be kind of fun to go up the side of a waterfall if you know you're gonna.
'Cause
pop
I got a
back up
story
at the
to
bottom.
tell.
Yeah, yeah. That's a funny thing. How many times have I said this in the past year? Well, this is gonna make an interesting story.
Yeah, right.
You know, oh, this will be a good story someday.
So I would almost say that that's a state of gratitude.
It is.
That is a state of gratitude, and
It
I think
is.
gratitude is definitely the road to joy
That's right.
in life. And so
Yeah.
no matter what it is, when you said that, immediately I thought gratitude. Yeah, thankful that I'm glad it happened.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Because I have a story I'm going to be telling about that. There's a lesson that I learned in that.
Exactly. In
Mm-hmm.
every waterfall that I have flown over the side of, you know, eventually the cork pops back up to
It
the
does.
top.
It does.
It just does. And then
Yeah.
you've learned something else, and you have a new experience,
Yeah.
and you have a new perspective,
Yeah.
and you're further on down the river than you were before.
Yeah, yeah,
And you just always understand that where you are today is not where you're going to stay.
yeah. No,
Even if you want
you don't
to.
stay.
Even if you want to. You don't get to.
Because that cork does want to pull over to the side and just kind of bunker down, and I'm good.
Sometimes it will. Sometimes it will, but then the river rises a little bit, and then it's popped down again, and off it goes. Yeah, yeah.
And you know, it's funny,
You
when
don't
I'm having
get
a
to
glass
stay.
of wine and we're taking the cork off, I'm like, I'm going to keep this cork.
I have a huge jar of corks.
Corks, yeah.
I'm going to see them totally
Yeah,
differently
yeah,
after
yeah.
today. Yeah.
So, you know, the question that I wanted to ask you is, you know, how do you go about, what is the strategy that you use to write your own story? Because you told you know, like I said, your foundational story is a furnace of circumstances that just
Yeah.
put you in the place to think about. I almost think that the hardest of times are the perfect times to rebuild, right? It's like,
Yes.
you know, all great beginnings are hidden in the ends.
Yes, that's really true. Yeah, because growth doesn't happen when everything is going right.
Yeah.
When you're so happy with where you are
Mm-hmm.
and you're not struggling,
Yeah,
then that's not where your growth is.
yeah,
Your
yeah.
growth is during the hard times,
Yeah.
during those times where you're having to really look at things
Yeah.
that, you know, maybe you've been complacent for a while,
Yeah.
you've let things be easy,
Yeah.
you've put up with things that you
Mhm.
knew aren't your best.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and don't speak to who you can really
Yeah.
be, and don't bring you to your higher potential.
Mhm.
And there's times that you have to do the hard thing
yeah,
and decide what you're going to carry forward
Yeah.
into tomorrow and
Yeah.
what you're going to leave behind.
Yeah.
And those are hard decisions.
yeah, they are.
Being comfortable is comfortable,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? I
That's
mean,
easy.
It's cushy. It's good.
That's
And-
easy. And the body
Yeah.
and the mind want that, but the soul doesn't want that.
Soul doesn't want that.
No,
No, it does not. And
it's the human and the being. The human
right.
wants that, but the being doesn't want that.
That's right. The human
Yeah.
wants to wear her pajamas and lay around in bed all day
Yeah.
petting the dog. That sounds nice. But the soul's not going to be content
Yeah.
doing that for very long
Yeah.
because you have things to do here.
Right, right.
And there's good things to do here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And those are the things that bring you. There's such a big difference between the comfort that you have in those pajamas, petting the dog, doing nothing,
Mm-hmm.
and the joy of the soul
Mhm.
when you're in your purpose
Yeah.
and you're doing what
Yeah.
what you're here to do.
Right. I agree. And Linda, we're going to keep talking about that because I'm sure there are a ton of resources and strategies and things that can get in the way that I want to talk about with you.
Yes.
So for those of you who are joining us, make sure you're taking notes because we have a lot of great examples of how to rewrite that story and stay focused on your mission, as Linda is doing currently in her life. I'm going to show you some programs that we offer here at Compass CBS, so stay tuned. Make sure to comment and share and like. In this video, I want to be there with you having this conversation, so stay tuned. We'll be right back. Hi, my name is Edgar Oliva. I'm the founder and senior business trainer of Compass CBS. Today I want to give you 5 reasons why you should take Microsoft courses with us. Over 80% of companies are now using Microsoft and require it as a skill. You'll be more productive and produce better results for your clients. You'll earn more money over the span of your career. You'll work faster and improve your quality of work. And it opens the door to many more possibilities. We have highly trained and certified bilingual experts ready to help you achieve your professional goals. Call us at 602-759-0553 or register on our website. See you at Compass CBS.
Hello, my name is Alejandro Perez with the law firm of Alejandro Perez. We specialize in labor and employment law, business law, and estate planning. You can reach our firm at 602-354-2833, or you can email me personally at ap@alejandroperezlaw.com. Your success is our business priority.
Hi, my name is Edgar Oliva. I want to tell you about an amazing resource that will make you stress-free about your business finances while giving you more time to do what you do best. At Star Bookkeeping Services, we specialize in bookkeeping and payroll services to take off the weight of managing your business finances, monthly sales taxes and payroll taxes, 1099s and W-2s to have ready for your CPA to review and finalize your tax return, notary and business license registrations to help you ensure your documents are always in order. Make sure you reach out to them and schedule your appointment today. And by the way, tell them that Edgar from Compass CBS sent you.
Hi, my name is Michelle Chavez. I learned a lot. I mean, I came in with a list, covered everything, but so much more. Came in kind of knowing a little bit about social media, learned a lot more. I feel very comfortable where I could go in and actually do something. Very organized, very thorough. It's an excellent class, highly recommend it. Well, I have to say the presenter was just so enthusiastic, knowledgeable, happy to share, happy to answer questions, and we asked a lot of questions. A lot of good information that I could not have found, or it would have taken me a long time to go into YouTubes and watch a lot of videos or read books which are outdated. It was good to have up-to-date information, anybody and everybody, because even if you have a good background, you're going to learn more. It's just so thorough, and it just tells you enough for you to know to be able to go in and start it on your own. The resources that are shared in the class, and then there is, like I said, the follow-up afterwards so that you have the support. You can go and ask questions, and you can talk to the people that are alumni, so you're kind of an important person afterwards too.
And welcome back. Thank you so much for staying tuned. Linda, it is so great to have this conversation with you, and you with your background and all of the things that you've learned, you've passed on so much wisdom onto me that, consider me a ripple effect of your life, because I'm just so grateful that our universes have crossed. I want to talk about, just the things that get in the way that we should be aware of, because things happen, right? Triggers, someone said something, or something didn't work out the way you had thought, or you see something on social media, or whatever it is.
Right.
What do we need to do to kind of come back and feel centered again? What is it that we need to do?
First of all, understand that happens.
That happens.
It happens.
Be aware to be aware.
Be aware to be aware.
Yeah.
Yes. And that it happens to everyone. So
You're not the only one.
no.
Yes.
No. And so you can have people that you really highly look up to, people that look like their whole lives are together on the
Mm-hmm.
outside, and maybe they are, but they still have human moments.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they still have moments where they struggle on
Right,
the inside, where
right.
they doubt themselves,
Yeah.
where the hard stuff in life comes in, where a trigger does come in.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, something I like to talk to my clients about is the very fact that life is messy.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So, you know, when I went back to school, I got my master's degree in professional counseling, and I was a counselor. I was still in the corporate world as well. The recession hit. Lots of things were happening all over. People were losing their houses. People lost their jobs.
Oh,
all
yeah.
these, you know, so many hard things were happening. I managed to package myself out of corporate America during that time. Woohoo!
Yeah.
And
I did the same thing.
yes.
And we
it
were
was-
probably one of the crazy ones
Oh, no
who
kidding.
had a job
Right.
while
We
the world was
had a
falling
job,
apart. And
it
then we
was
decided, no, I don't want this.
a good paying job
Yeah.
even. Like, oh, yeah, right.
Right,
And I thought,
yeah.
oh, I must be nuts, but
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah. I was told I was
Because-
crazy all the way
Oh.
till the end.
Right?
I still think I'm a little crazy, but in a
Well,
good way.
no,
In a
but-
good
but
way.
all the good crazy
If this is
people
crazy,
like you.
I like crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. And my professional opinion is
Right,
I
right.
like your kind of crazy. So I'd packaged myself. I figured out a package, got out of corporate America, opened my practice full time during a really hard time to be
Yeah.
out on your
Yeah.
own. But, and boy, self-doubt
Yeah.
and just fear and
Yeah.
all of those things were
Yeah.
just right there.
Yeah.
But I knew who I was, and I
Yeah.
knew what I wanted,
Yeah.
and I also saw opportunity in that because that's something that I think gets missed. Is that when we're afraid, then the tendency is to want to pull back.
Right.
It's to you know, it's to protect ourselves. It's to get smaller.
Right.
It's to kind of go in the background
Yeah,
again
yeah,
and not make a
yeah.
decision and not step
Yep.
out.
Right.
And that was a really pivotal time for me to realize that fear just means that I have another place to grow.
Yeah. Yeah. I truly believe that. If
do
I
too.
am
It's not comfortable.
No,
Doesn't
it
feel good,
sucks. It's
but-
awful. But when
such
you
an
take
opportunity.
but when you take the moment to step back, right?
Yeah.
I think when the moment you're like, okay, why does it scare me so much?
Yes.
There's something to be learned there.
Oh,
And
exactly.
I like learning.
That's it. Learning is
So
one
then
of
the
my
self-talk.
highest values. Yes. Yes. I love to learn, and I know that, and I love to grow, and I'm solid in my value system. I know it's important to me. And whenever I feel afraid of doing something, my motto basically now is, well, if it scares me enough, that means I have to do
Do
it.
it, yeah.
Because that's where I'm going to learn.
And if
That's
it
where I'm
doesn't
gonna grow.
scare you, or like I told myself, if it doesn't scare me or create that butterfly in the stomach feeling, I'm not going to do it.
No, 'cause
it's
it's just
too
gonna
easy.
be more of the same
It's
of
more of
whatever
the same.
you're doing.
That's it, right?
Yeah, and you don't need to do that. You're already doing that.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
what-
yeah.
You don't need more of the same. And so I use that same philosophy
Yeah.
to do other things where, like I raised money and I went to China for 6 weeks to
Wow.
teach women's leadership.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
I don't speak Mandarin.
Yeah.
Thank goodness
Wow.
they speak English.
Yes.
And they were
Right.
fabulous, and it was
Oh,
a
yeah.
difficult trip, and it changed me again. I was so scared to go that every step that I was taking in the airport towards that airplane was making my stomach hurt worse and
Ooh,
worse.
I know
and
that
worse.
feeling.
And
I
then I
know-
finally just get on
Get on
the
the
plane.
plane.
And I did. And then when you got off the plane,
Uh-huh.
you were in China. So now it's like, well, you better figure out what you're doing now because you're here.
Exactly.
And, yeah, it's, okay, that decision passed.
Now you're
You
literally
already
in
did that
another
one.
world.
Yeah, now you really are out there by yourself in the world. You
Yeah.
better go
Yeah.
figure your thing out.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
life-changing. It was so
Yeah.
amazing. And I came back from that understanding that I'm stronger than I had given
Yeah.
myself credit for.
Yeah.
And that we can do big, scary, crazy things and come out even stronger on the other side of that.
I agree.
And I've used that lesson since then, especially that was, gosh, 10 years ago, I think, that I did that. And since then, I've done bigger, scarier things.
Yeah.
And I continue to do bigger and
Yeah.
scarier things.
Yeah.
And now I get really excited when somebody brings me an opportunity, and when I first look at it and I go, ooh,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't think I
yeah,
can do that.
yeah.
I go, okay.
Okay, I'll sign up.
Okay,
I'll sign
figure
up.
it out. Give me a chance to figure this out. Because I always want to be growing. I
Yeah.
always want to be learning. And we can do so much more than we give ourselves credit for.
Yeah, right.
And
right. At least I, personal experience, do fail to give myself enough credit.
yeah,
And I have found that is a disservice to the kid who had the dream
right,
to be where you're at right now.
right.
So why are you treating yourself that way? I talk myself to this. Why am I treating myself this way? If I saw someone make a major leap, especially when I'm coaching somebody, right?
Right.
Would I put up with the nonsense excuses of
my
not
gosh,
doing
no.
it? And yet,
No.
like we gotta, when I did
Yeah.
my coaching training, I'm like, the first thing that they said, to be a good coach, you have to be a good coachee. And I really needed to kind of put that mindset on. I thought, no, you're right. I have to treat myself as well.
That's
Just
right.
as nice when you say giving yourself credit is so important.
Right. Which is something I have to work on remembering to do too,
Yeah.
because this is kind of one of those driver behaviors too, right? So I set a goal, I go after the goal, I focus on the goal, I plan it all out, I get consistent with my action, I reach the goal,
Yep.
usually exceed the goal
Yep.
because
You're
nothing
that
else
good.
is acceptable to me.
Right?
And
All those high standards.
Ooh. Yeah. And then, and as soon as I'm done, I'm like, next.
Next, yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's my community, it's my
Yeah.
circle, it's my friends like you
Yeah.
that go, oh my God, you just did that.
Yeah.
Aren't you so proud of yourself? And I go, oh.
Because from the
Oh, wait,
outside,
I did it. Oh, you're
yeah,
right.
exactly.
Yeah, and you're like, let's celebrate that.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
I'm the girl that likes to have fun,
Yeah.
so I'm all up for the celebration part. I just don't remember to do it.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so I think that one of the tenets of
Yeah.
being a happy and successful person that's always learning and is on purpose, besides the staying in action, being consistent,
Right.
making a decision and
Yeah.
holding yourself accountable
Yep.
to that
Yep.
and getting it done,
Yeah.
is the people that you keep around you.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
yes.
100%.
Oh my gosh, it
If-
makes all the difference.
If you have someone or some people in your life that are just doubting, or what, one thing that I also have been aware of, and I tell myself, I'm not going to get sucked into that anymore. When someone says, you need to be realistic, let's be realistic.
Oh.
You
Whose
know, I
reality
get
are we
it.
gonna measure that against?
Exactly. I'm
Your
like,
realistic or mine?
if my numbers scare you, that's your reality now. I mean,
Right.
so I don't go into like judging mode of the other person, but when I hear someone say be realistic or pull back, I'm hearing a difference in what reality is.
Right.
And I want to surround myself with people who have similar realities, right? That, yeah, being realistic, oh yeah, we can hit that number. Oh yeah, we can do that project. Oh yeah, let's do. That's, I think, what you're referring to, right?
It is, and I believe in a very expansive reality. There's not edges on my
No.
reality.
No.
Because I don't know
Where's-
what's next.
We don't know
after
the
that.
ending to this.
I had no idea we'd be doing what I'm doing today 10 years ago. If you
Yeah.
told me that this would
Yeah.
be my life today,
Yeah.
I would have been like, oh, where's the fast forward button?
Yeah.
And let's get there.
Isn't that
But
funny?
that's not
Other
how you
people
get
say
there.
that. People say that.
Yeah.
If you had told me 10 years ago that I'd be doing this, I think you're crazy, or I
Right.
wouldn't believe it, or how can I get there faster?
It's an
right?
evolution.
It's amazing. It's
Yeah.
amazing, yeah.
It's an actual evolution. You don't just start here and then end up here
Yeah.
overnight.
Yeah.
There's things to learn, experiences to
Yeah.
have, things to trip over, to fall over,
Yeah.
failures, picking yourself back
Yeah.
up again,
Yeah. Yeah.
trying something else.
Welcome change.
Yes.
Welcome it.
Yes.
I've had these corporate leadership conferences where I've said, yeah, the big boss will tell you permanent. This is a permanent change and permanent for now. Because organizations need to grow. Organizations need to
Yeah.
evolve. They're going to have to review their employee manuals or whatever it is that
Right.
they're doing. Strategies. The world constantly evolves. So I tell professionals, when you hear the word permanent, just add for now. Add for now.
For now.
Just for now.
Actually,
and
that for now thing works for a lot of things.
for a lot of things. It's permanent
Yeah.
for now.
So if you're struggling today with something and you don't know quite how you're going to get through it, make a decision of what you're going to be and who you're going to be for now.
For now.
For now, they're magic words.
Yes, because we're living in the present.
Yeah.
The anxiety. What are we anxious about? Future, things that haven't even
Right.
happened.
Stories you've told yourself.
And what are we sad or fearful things that we've done in the past that
Right.
oh man, so it's
Regrets.
like for now.
For now.
Who are you now?
Yeah. Who are you choosing to be just for now?
Yeah, I love
Just
it.
for now, I will. I have an exercise that I do with clients that starts with, just for now, I will.
Yeah.
And they list the things that they're going to do to take
I
care of
love that.
themselves,
I love that.
to reduce their own anxiety,
Yeah.
To add good things back into their day, into good thoughts towards themselves back into their thoughts.
Yeah.
And, you know, just for now, I will.
Yeah. Be intentional about how you start your day and how you end your day.
Yeah.
This is a good way to kind of program your thoughts and make them serve you.
Exactly.
You know, you can't stop thinking.
No,
can't,
I've tried.
You can't stop it. But someone who I interviewed the other day too said, you know, you can't control the first thought, but you definitely can control the second one.
Oh, that's good.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, so if the first thought is something negative, well, just remember, you can control the thing that comes after that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And when you get into that habit of monitoring your thoughts, not judging your thoughts,
Yes.
because that's totally different.
That's different.
Totally different. But monitoring your thoughts. And especially because certain thoughts that you have, they will bring up physical sensations, they
Yeah.
will bring up emotion,
Yeah.
they will change your
Yeah.
energy.
Yeah.
And so figure out what those things are. When you feel a shift, when you
Yeah.
feel, you know, pay attention. What am I
Yeah.
thinking about?
Yeah.
What's, you know, is there a little tape growing,
Yeah,
you know,
right.
rolling in the back of my
Right.
head about something I didn't do, somebody that hurt me, something I wish I had done, something you know, what is that? And
Yep.
why is that there? And notice it, let it go, get yourself back where you want to be. Pay attention to what you are thinking.
When you say pay attention to what you are thinking, and then you follow it up with some very important questions. What am I thinking? Where
Yes.
are these thoughts coming from? Am I making them up?
Am I making it up? Do I just want to feel sad today?
Yes.
Because seriously, that's something to think about, right? Because we are very complicated
Yeah.
creatures emotionally. We have a wide range of available emotions. And staying in the happy emotion all the time is just simply not possible. We have
It
this
requires
wide range.
effort.
And it's not reasonable. And if you were always happy, you would just level out there and you
Yeah.
would just always be there and you wouldn't even know you were happy anymore.
Right.
It's okay to have
Yeah.
the other emotions
You need
too.
the dips. You
Yeah,
need
you
the
do.
dips to ride up again. Yeah.
You do. And they're not bad. And you know, sadness isn't bad. Anger isn't bad. None of these things are bad. They're
Right.
all experiences. They
Yeah.
all so when that happens and you let that move through you, but you decide how long you're gonna stay there. And if you need to stay there for a little while to process through, and this is an important thing. This past year has been a pivotal year for me. I lost both of my parents
Yeah.
this last year.
Yeah.
I'm coming up on the first anniversary
Wow.
of losing my mom,
Wow.
who was my biggest mentor,
Yeah.
my biggest inspiration, and my best friend.
Yeah.
And she was my rock. She was
Yeah.
my safety net. She was all of those things
Yeah.
that suddenly got torn away from me.
Yeah.
And then I had to figure out how to be my own safety net
Yeah.
after
Yeah.
that.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
and so grief is it's a hard thing, but
Yeah.
it's part of life and
Yeah.
it's part of our experience
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
And when it washes over you, you don't fight it.
No.
And I've learned this. I mean, being a therapist,
And you are
would
given
think I
a
would
bunch
know
of
it.
gifts. But you are given a bunch of gifts after grief.
So many gifts, so many gifts. And every single thing that she ever said to me, she ever did for me, she ever supported me on, that's all still
Now
here.
are there front and center.
Right here.
Yeah.
Right here. She's the one that said, you're not afraid to work
Yeah.
hard. You're smart.
Yeah.
You can figure it
Yeah.
out. I know you've got
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
And every award that I've won, every promotion that I've gotten, every big milestone that I've passed, she was always there saying, see, I told you. I
Yeah.
knew you could do it.
Yeah.
And she was in her hospital bed. Actually, it was about 4 days before she passed. And the nurse came in and she said, oh, have you met my daughter? This is my daughter. Isn't she the most amazing person you've ever seen? You know, she won an Outstanding Women in Business Award, and she
Oh.
does really big things in the
Oh,
world.
I
and,
love that.
and she's just really amazing. Isn't she
I love
fabulous?
that.
And I'm like, Mom, this can be about you today.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, it's really okay for this to be
This
about
is your
you
accomplishment
today.
too.
Yeah.
You
but-
brought me to the world. I
but I'm
give
like-
credit to moms a
I'm
lot.
thinking to myself, she's laying in this bed and she's dying.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
all she wants to talk about
Yeah.
is how great her daughter is.
Oh, that's
And I
beautiful love.
thought,
Oh, that's the best kind of love.
This is who I want to be. She once again inspires me.
Yeah.
That I think, you know, she's not having a pity party.
Yeah. Right.
she had every reason to have opinion.
Yeah.
Every reason.
Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
reason to be
Yeah.
angry, upset,
Yep.
sad, depressed,
Yep.
frustrated.
Yep.
And instead she was just like, isn't this just a wonderful thing?
Yeah, just grateful to
Yeah,
have you in
just
life
full
and
of love.
grateful
Just-
for all of it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought, wow,
That
here
is a
you are
wonderful-
teaching me on your way out. You're still teaching me
Yeah.
on your way out.
Oh, what
And
a gift.
I'm so grateful.
You
so
know,
grateful.
when anytime I talk about leadership, I have to talk about mom. I have to talk
Yes.
about the mom. You set a wonderful example for your family too, and I call that, it's a form of healing your lineage,
Yes.
healing the
Oh,
lineage, right?
Right.
Let's make
That's
this a
good.
better lineage for
Yes.
all. I think that's a wonderful note to end our conversation, Linda. This is definitely the beginning of a lot more conversations.
Good.
Thank you for being my friend. Thank you for being an
Thank you.
amazing human being. Thank you for sharing your story. We love your mom. We love you. And once again, if you were inspired by the story, please, please, please share this video. Linda, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And there you have it, another wonderful and inspiring conversation with another great professional who's doing amazing things in the world, Linda Bishop. She covered a lot of ground as far as, how to stay focused and build on your goals and do things that scare you, because there are lessons to be learned on the other side of that fear. And of course, paying attention to your thoughts is a critical component to have a successful and happy life so that you can keep growing as a human being. And of course, acknowledge our parents and acknowledge where we got these lessons from, I think is a wonderful way to close our conversation. Please help us by sharing this video. Comment in the comment section. I'd love having a conversation with you. If you have any questions for Linda, I will have her tagged in this video, and you can reach out to her directly to find out more about the programs that she runs. In the meantime, thank you so much for joining us. I'll see you next week.